welcome back to my channel 5 Minute Economics, where I teach economic concepts in a span of just 5 minutes. The topic for today is the comparative advantage theory, which is also known as the Ricardian or Ricardo's theory of international trade. So first thing first, let me tell you, I've already made a video on the absolute advantage theory, which is necessary for you to watch before you come up to the comparative advantage theory. I'll attach the link in the description section below. Secondly, I know this topic is a little complicated one. When I was preparing for the UGC NET examination, I myself I just watched so many YouTube videos for me to understand this topic in depth. So I'll try my best to do justice to this topic and make it as simple as possible for you. So let's get started, and guys, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram at 5 Minute Economics in case you haven't already. So guys, let me introduce the topic to you. So the comparative advantage theory was obviously discovered by David Ricardo in 1817, and hence it is known as the Ricardian theory as well. So what does this theory basically means? It means the ability of an individual, company or a country to produce at a lower opportunity cost than any of its competitors. So first let me tell you what exactly is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is basically the next best alternative. For example, I have 100 rupees in my hand. I can either use it to watch a movie, or either I can use it to maybe eat a McDonald's burger. So the opportunity cost of me watching a movie is the McDonald's burger. Are you getting it? It's the next best alternative. So that is what Ricardo said in his theory, initially with the absolute advantage theory. So he said even if countries are not having absolute advantage, we can still trade because of the relative or the comparative advantage. So let me give you a short example, and then later on we'll come to the countries. So here I've taken myself, Vidhi, and my brother Aryan. We both are very good bakers. Okay, so we've taken a time span of 1 hour, and let's see what can each of us do. So in a time span of 1 hour, I can make either 10 brownies or 30 pies, apple pie. So I can make 30 pies or I can make 10 brownies, whereas my brother Aryan can make 10 brownies or 10 pies. You see. Okay, so 1:3, that is 1:3 is my ratio, whereas 1:1 is his ratio. Okay, now first we see that what do? We divide our time. In half an hour we'll make brownie, and half an hour we'll make pies. We've thought that. If we do so, what happens is I will make 5 brownies, right, in half an hour, and I will make 15 pies. Whereas he will make 5 brownies and 5 pies. In total, we both will make 10 brownies and 20 pies. That's right. But if I say ki I will make only pies and Aryan, you make only brownies, what happens is, if I devote my 1 hour only to make pies, I will make 30 pies, whereas my brother Aryan will make 10 brownies. Then what will happen? Our total outcome will be 10 brownies, which is the same as before. But this time we are having 30 pies. Before we had 20 pies. So you see, just by rearranging, we get an advantage. And this happens because of specialization. So you'll understand this more in the next coming video. So let me explain you the assumptions before we move on. So guys, the assumptions for this particular theory as well as for the absolute advantage theory are more or less the same. So again, we are taking a 2x2 model, which is 2 countries in the whole world. We are just taking maybe India and Pakistan, that is bilateral trade is only happening, and only 2 commodities. Labor is the only factor of production, nothing else is considered. Technology is of course constant within the country. In both the countries the technology might vary, but within the country it's the same. Labor is again mobile within the country but immobile outside the country. There are no trade barriers like tariffs or duties, anything like that. And lastly, there is no transportation cost. So now guys, we are going to do the main part of the comparative advantage theory, and here I will need your absolute attention. So right now only look at this particular table, where we've taken 2 countries, which are India and Nepal, and 2 commodities, which is cotton and laptops. Okay, everything is very hypothetical. So here we see in an hour's time, which we've taken, India can produce either 20 tons of cotton or it can produce 10 laptops. It can do either of it. Okay, whereas Nepal on the other hand can produce 16 tons of cotton and 2 laptops only. So a common man maybe who doesn't know economics, or at first sight even you might think that Doesn't India have an absolute advantage in both? That is true. It definitely has an absolute advantage in producing both cotton and laptop. And you might just think India should, export it to Nepal and Nepal should import both. But you are absolutely wrong, my friend, in case you're thinking that. It's not true, and this is why we have the comparative advantage theory. Now we will take out the opportunity cost, and that is why I've drawn this table already. So here we have drawn India and Nepal, but over here guys, we have put it as for 1 ton of cotton and for 1 laptop. Okay, so what we have to give up for 1 ton of cotton and for 1 laptop. For both the countries, we have to see. I've written it over here and everything is done so that you can simply understand it. So now coming to India. So India के लिए to produce 1 ton of cotton, we are doing the unitary method, okay? We will divide 10 by 20. We have to give up 0.5 or half a laptop, okay? That I've put it in this column. Next, for Nepal, to produce 1 ton of cotton, how many laptops do we have to give? We have to give 2 by 16, okay? We've used this. That is 1/8 or 0.125 laptop. Okay, that is what I've put it in these two boxes. Now this is the opportunity cost for 1 ton of cotton. Now coming to the opportunity cost for 1 laptop. Now for India, to produce 1 laptop, how many tons of cotton do we have to give? 20 by 10 this time. We have to give only 2 tons of cotton. Whereas on the other hand, for Nepal, to produce 1 laptop, we have to give 16 divided by 2, that is 8 tons of cotton. So now after reading these 4 statements, I think you can be clearer with what relative advantage is. So basically what Ricardo said, the country who has a lower opportunity cost, should produce that good. So the lowest opportunity cost country wins and should produce and export that good. So in this case, we notice for Nepal, we have an absolute relative advantage for cotton, because here they are only giving up 0.125 or 1/8 of a laptop, whereas India was giving up 0.5 or half a laptop. So it is best if Nepal produces cotton. Whereas coming to the situation of laptops, India has a relative advantage or a comparative advantage to produce laptops, because you see guys, for India, it is only giving up 2 tons of cotton to produce 1 laptop, whereas Nepal was giving 8 tons of cotton. So their second and third statement are what? So Nepal should produce cotton and India should produce laptop according to the comparative advantage theory. So lastly guys, I'll be telling you a small PPC diagram which you might need it for your exam. So this was the same table which I'd drawn in the previous video, and I've just plotted it on the graph. Here I've taken cotton on the x-axis, whereas I've taken laptop on the y-axis. Using these points, I've drawn the PPC for Nepal and India. So here's a small trick in case you don't want to draw that opportunity cost diagram, table which I just taught you. So in case guys, you see wherever is the larger gap on the diagram, we see here on the y-axis there's a larger gap, 2 and 10, and whoever is producing more on this particular axis has a comparative advantage in producing that good. So in this case, laptops, India. So India has a comparative advantage in laptops. So therefore, obviously Nepal will have a comparative advantage in producing cotton. So that's all about this particular video guys. I hope this was useful for you, and I'll see you soon in my next video pretty soon.